So we have the car up. Ryan's working on it. We have Colin on the camera for now. You should be wrenching, but Rich won't mind. So when Callie and Jeff did the transformation of the Carbonero, they did a titanium exhaust for the back. And then what's really cool to see, since the car's up in the air, you can see in the GTRs, this is a carbon drive shaft. I don't know if you could get a close pick of it. It has a, what would you call it, Ryan? A carbon brace to just structurally,
yeah,
right
just
there.
Kind of keep everything together. Keep
It just
on the track.
makes it a little bit stiffer.
Yeah.
And then you can see this is a stock cats that we'll be taking out. And the other cats are right up here that you really can't see. Another really cool thing is you can see how much carbon is utilized in the R and why there's a big price difference between the S and the regular GT cars and the R. It's all those little things that just add up. So another cool thing that you can see is the GT3 style race control arms. So the upper and lower. This, instead of just doing a wider front wheel, you put these on. They're, I think, no bushings in them. So like a GT3 RS style too. When you go to an RS, it's just a little bit better for racing and the parts don't go out as easily, things like that. But these make a big difference. You're doing a same size wheel now for the car, but you're just getting a better stance. It's gonna be way better handling than trying to keep the stock ones on. They're pretty sexy looking, if I have to admit. Another cool structural piece with the Carbonero is this structural piece here. So this is truly functional. This car's already been over 150 miles an hour. Tested on a track. Aero works extremely well. You don't have as many as the nannies going off controlling the back. So the rear spoiler, front splitter do their job. As you can see here, you can see all the structural integrity for all the downforce that's going to be put down on the front splitter, and it just works really, really well. To Project Gamma, they have these in stock, ceramic coated. Look how gorgeous the coating is. And these are going to replace our stock 4 sets of cats, so the downpipes and the secondaries. And then we have the car obviously here at Dynocomp. Rich, Colin, and the team are going to do the full tune. We're also using the Rentec blow-off valves. And so far so good. We did our base dyno. Rear wheel was what, Colin? 574?
I think it was 40.
540. 540 wheel and like
560 torque.
560 torque. So, which is really good. Good baseline, 91 octane. So super excited for this car, you guys. And yeah, just want to get a big shout out to Project Gamma for getting these to us. We're here with Ken at Dynocomp. Ken's one of their head, I guess, dyno gurus here at the shop.
Say that, I've been tuning here for 20 plus years.
Yeah, pretty impressive. So him and Rich have had a long-standing relationship for a long time. One of the most trusted guys in the dyno community as well. And do you want to touch base real fast on the dyno that we're running on today?
Yeah, so we use a Dyno Dynamics dyno here. It's an all-wheel drive dyno that uses eddy current loaders, and it's a very reliable dyno. that gives us consistent results.
And if you guys watched my prior video of the rim tech on this dyno, Rich also went into great detail with how the fan system works and things like that for cooling it. Taking the interior of the 75-degree shop air going in through the radiator, so it greatly helps reduce cooling temperatures for the motor as well. We have a cooler day today as well compared to the Rintec dyno day. I think we were like 100 degrees when we did that one. Today's probably
It's 86 degrees.
86 degrees. A lot nicer today. But yeah.
Sure.
Ken, why don't we
So
go through it?
when Charlie's car came in here, we put on the dyno and it was way down on power. So you can see this is the base number here. It was only making 382 horsepower. We diagnosed it and determined that the exhaust flaps were deleted on this car, and when the exhaust flaps are removed, the car will go into a low power mode. Okay. So basically, it's not making any boost. Okay. So first thing we did is we have factory development software, and by using that, we're able to code out the exhaust valves. So we coded it out, put it back on the dyno with the downpipes on there, and you can see just with downpipes and the exhaust flaps working correctly, it made 536 horsepower.
Yeah, and that's stock. So that's all stock,
Yeah.
except for the mufflers.
Right.
So what happened was the prior owners that I bought the car from, Jeff and Callie, are the ones that worked with Carbon Air, with Pajak, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, to do the one-off custom wide body for the R. It's the only R body in the United States right now. And when they did it, they removed the exhaust, the muffler system, and with that, the valves, not knowing that you had to do that to
Yeah, so it will not throw a check engine light.
Yeah.
Okay, and a generic OBD tester will not show a fault code for the exhaust flaps. So people that do this, and we see it quite a bit, you know, they want to make their Mercedes and AMG louder. They bring it to an exhaust shop, they cut the mufflers out. By doing that, they delete the valves, and next thing you know, your car is down, you know, almost 200 horsepower.
So there's a good note for you guys out there that are doing this. Go to a knowledgeable place that's doing this properly. When I took possession of the car, I'm used to my Rintec that is tuned, and we did it here. It was running 611 wheel. And so when I jumped in this car, I'm like, yeah, this car didn't seem fast. This can't be stock, but maybe it was. And so when they called me and were like, hey, have you driven the car before we brought it here? I'm like, yeah, I noticed it was, and they're like, yeah, it's 383 wheel horsepower. I'm like, yep, that makes sense. And so I contacted Jeff and Callie, and what's so funny at Utah Motorsports, with the downforce, they were 10 seconds faster with the car than before the ground effects. So the aero definitely works, but they were 180 plus horsepower down on power. So imagine if you had the power in the downforce and it's set up with a GT3 style control arms, things like that, how much bigger of a difference it would make.
For sure, it was easier to drive around a track with that less power.
Yes, and that's the funny thing. He's like, yeah, I had it floored everywhere and it stuck like glue, and was faster. But again, he thought it was just because of all the downforce and the aero why the car wasn't faster. So I'm sure, Jeff, you're probably kicking yourself right now, going like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't have that extra power. So that's a lot of difference. And then now let's discuss, now that we did Project Gamma, we did their cap delete system for secondary and primary. We did a custom tune by Dynocomp, and we put the Rintec blow-off valves on it. And now where are we at?
Yeah, so we're at right at 600 horsepower, okay, and 592 foot-pounds of torque. So solid gain. It's about normally what we see on 91 octane out here. You know, it's a challenge with the fuel. And so I think what we're going to do now is going to splash it with some 100 octane and see what kind of difference it makes.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last video with Rich, and Rich was thinking that I would gain 20 to 40 horsepower. So So we're gonna put that to the test right now. We're gonna keep the tune as a 91 tune, because really I'm not gonna probably put race fuel in this. It's gonna be just going to the gas stations, not really spending any time on the track at all because I have a race car. So it'll just be for our fast line drives and, you know, maybe take it to work and things like that on occasion or wherever. So it'll be perfect tune for what we want. It's conservative tune, so it'll be safe for the car. It is question. We're at 611 with the other one, with the Rentec downpipes and secondary bypass.
Right.
Do you think it's because now there's more flow that's off by 9, or what do you think?
No, we can see when we looked at the mass airflow values when we did the data logging, we're up almost 300 grams per second. So we know the car is flowing a lot more through the turbochargers.
Okay, that's good to know.
And boost is up to about 1.3 bar. So boost is up from essentially 1 bar to 1.3 bar. So it makes a lot more boost. Unfortunately, these turbos, that's about the limit. There's still some room to play there, but if you make more boost on these turbos, you're not gonna really make more power. You're gonna generate more heat. They're kind of get out of their efficiency range at that point. So we like to keep it safe right around there.
Yeah, which makes sense. I'd rather have a safe running horsepower car than pushing it for no reason on the streets.
Yeah.
We're not racing this car. We're not doing time trials or anything like that. So.
And honestly, each car is different. You know, we have a different drivetrain loss on this car. It's probably got bigger wheels and tires.
Actually, same.
Same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So, different car, different day.
Yeah, for sure. Barometric pressure, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, let's pause this and we'll pick up with the video once we put the race fuel in, see what we have. So, we just put in a little dip of race fuel. What octane was that, Colin?
About 98 octane.
So 98 octane, we had a mix of 91, so hard for us to really say what the real octane is. But we went from 601 horsepower for the 91 tune to 633. So pretty on point for what we were expecting.
Correct. That's about normally what we see here. And even the data logs support that. And it shows, you know, about 12 degrees of timing with the original file, and then when we go to the 100 octane, it shows about 14 degrees of ignition advance. So the ECU adapts for the higher fuel quality without even really doing anything.
Yeah, pretty legit. So there you have it, another great dyno tune from Dynocomp. Love you guys, greatly appreciate you guys for doing this for us. And if you guys have any questions, comments, reach out to Dynocomp in Scottsdale, Arizona. Their Instagram is just Dynocomp, I believe.
Yep.
And they have a Facebook page as well.
Yep.
And you can always reach out, message me with any questions, comments that you may have on the Rentec car or on this rare car. And we'll catch you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.